Good evening, everyone. Good evening and Jai Hind. I hope all of you are doing well. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the session. I hope all of you are doing well. Good evening, Guddu, Khushbu, Shaheen, Muskan, and Diksha. Good evening. Okay, so tell me one thing. Now we are almost there. Fab is 10 days are remaining almost, or 9 days are remaining there in the month of Fab, and then we have March, April, and May. So now you have less than 100 days. So tell me about this part. Now, how you are feeling? Your preparation, those who are going for attempting the exam this year. So now, what is your confidence level? We have been having so many things right now, we are having this revision course also going on, for revision classes also going on for your some of the subjects. You also have the crash course. We are discussing current affairs also. So many of the things are going simultaneously, and it's that many of you are part of those initiatives also. But from your side, those who are going for examination, like how much confident you are feeling by now, or where you are having this lack? Where do you feel this challenge? Or is everything going on very much smoothly? Before we start the session, let's discuss a little bit about it. Like, what is your preparation level? How much confident you are feeling for the exam? And if not, then what is the main challenge which you are expecting right now? Good evening. The 2026 aspirants. Okay, that's good. Those who are going for 2025. Okay, so I think some of you are there for 2025 also. I think Disha, you are going for 25. Shaheen is also going. Okay, Harendra, Kunal. Acha, Kunal is for 2027. That's good. You have sufficient amount of time. Okay, 26. Fine. And then I think if you are attempting for 26, then no problem. Okay. Okay. So see, those who are going for 2025 session, शिव शंकर ऑनलाइन क्लासेस की वजह से रिवीजन कंप्लीट नहीं हो पा रही है. How many classes you are having daily, Shiv Shankar? How many classes you are having daily? See, after some time, I will suggest you that suppose you are going through multiple classes, just attend those sessions for right now which are relevant for prelims. Otherwise, for mains, either you can see it in like a recorded version, or you can watch it later also. फॉर्म गलत फिल हो गया, like what type of mistake is there in the form? See, Harendra, for confidence you have to do one thing. Like, confidence will come once you solve the questions. If you are solving questions, if you are practicing it from time to time, then you will get the confidence. Address. So address is not that much of a problem. If there is a problem in the address, that is not much of a difficulty. I think now they will provide you this option of changing something in form. So if you get the option of changing the address, you can change it there. So no problem with the hobby part. Even if you have not filled the hobby, that is not a problem. Yes, Disha. 1 month fever. Okay, Rohan. I can understand that 1 month fever is a long time, but gradually try to pick up your pace. The thing is, when you start working on it, then only you will get the get back on the track. See, if you are having multiple classes, then, and if you are going for 2025, if you are going for 26 or later, then you don't have to worry. But those who are going for 25 exam, prioritize your classes, watch in this recorded form also, so that you can cover in a limited time. Those who are going for 25, those who are in 26, of course you can go for the classes first, and then later on also you can revise. Okay. Now let's start today's session. The topics which we are going to see in today's session, we will have some practice question, and then there is one article with respect to the Hindu newspaper. There is this one article which is talking about the import tariff in India, that how much import tariff is there and why India is imposing these tariffs. We are going to talk about that also. Okay. So this is something which is going to be relevant from GS paper 3. GS paper 3. Then the second topic which we are going to discuss is rare of the rarest doctrine. So this is one such thing which has been given in the Hindu again in the explained section, and we are going to talk about this doctrine also, the rare of the rarest. It is part of your GS paper 2. Okay. Then periodic labor force survey. This is a smaller portion from the economy. We are going to see that who publishes it and what has been the latest data. That one thing which we are going to see. Plus India-Qatar strategic ties, again GS paper 2. So this is the topic which we are going to discuss in today's session. Okay. Two topics with respect to GS paper 2, one GS 3, and one is also with respect to prelims. Okay. Yes, Shiv Shankar, that will be more than sufficient. That will be more than sufficient. Okay. So let's start with some questions, and then we will come to this part, that the topics which are here. First thing, this is one of the question on election commission. Last day we have discussed about election commission. In the last week also we have discussed about it. Here is the question. The Election Commission of India is a 5-membered body. The Union Ministry of Home Affairs decides the election schedule for the conduct of both general elections and by-elections. Election Commission resolves the dispute relating to a split or merger of recognized political parties. So which one is correct? Which of the statements given above are correct? The Election Commission of India is a 5-member body. Union Ministry of Home Affairs decides the election schedule for the conduct of both general elections and by-elections. Election Commission resolves the dispute relating to a split or merger of recognized political parties. Okay. Okay, one answer is option B and option D. Yes, see this option, if we look at this, Election Commission of India is not a 5-member body. Even if we look at this right now, it is a 3-member body. It is a 3-member body. There is one chief election commissioner plus 2 other election commissioners. So this is a 3-member body right now. Okay. So this first statement is incorrect. Second is also incorrect. Union Ministry of Home Affairs will not decide the election date. It will be decided by the Election Commission of India. So ECI is going to decide this date. So second is also incorrect. Election Commission resolves the dispute relating to splits or merger of recognized political parties. That third option is correct here. Answer will be D option. Okay. Now, the next question is, how many of the following is correct with respect to deposit insurance in India? Last day we have discussed this topic again, deposit insurance. So in that context, the minimum sum insured for bank deposits is rupees 5 lakh. A person having multiple accounts in same bank will get a maximum benefit of rupees 5 lakh only. A person having accounts in multiple banks can get a maximum insurance of rupees 5 lakh. So that is question number 2. That is question number 2. The minimum sum insured for bank deposits is rupees 5 lakh. Second is saying a person having multiple accounts in the same bank will get a maximum benefit of rupees 5 lakh only. A person having accounts in multiple banks can get a maximum insurance of rupees 5 lakh. Okay, so I think most of the people are going for option B. See, look at this part. First is saying a person having account in multiple banks can get a maximum insurance for rupees 5 lakh. That is incorrect. We have seen if a person is having 5 lakh in SBI, 5 lakh in PNB, 5 lakh in HDFC, so he will get an insurance up to 15 lakh because he is having this bank account in different banks, so he can get even up to 15 lakh. So this third option is incorrect. This third option is incorrect. Now, a person having multiple accounts in same bank, like in SBI again, he is having a saving account, he is having a fixed deposit, he is having any other thing. But the maximum amount he will get is 5 lakh only. So second is correct. Here it is saying the minimum sum insured. It is not the minimum sum insured, it is the maximum sum insured. If a person is depositing rupees 1 lakh, so he will get only 1 lakh rupees. He will not get 5 lakh rupees. So it is not the minimum sum insured, it is the maximum sum insured. Okay. So it is the maximum amount which people get as part of this deposit insurance, not the minimum part. Okay. So first one is also incorrect. Third one is also incorrect. Answer is A. That is only one. Okay. So look at the option carefully. It is minimum sum insured, not the maximum sum. Now, question number 3. How many of the following acts are related to Central Pollution Control Board? Water Act 1974, Wildlife Protection Act 1972 and Air Act 1981. Good evening. So I think in this question you can give the correct answer. Yes, it is going to be option B. It is comparatively easy, Water Act and Air Act. So here the answer is only 2. Okay, only 2. In these two cases we have this Central Pollution Control Board. It is regulating the pollutions and emission standards under these 2 acts. Okay. So here the answer will be option number B, only 2. Okay. Now let's start today's topic. First of all, we have some data which was given in the Hindu. So let us try to look at that data and then we will try to discuss about this part also, that why India is having a higher tariff. Okay. See, this is the chart which is comparing the average import duty on various goods in various countries. You can see in this part, like it is giving a comparison of 2018 to 2023. Japan has an import duty of less than 5%. United States is also having an import duty of less than 5%. European Union is having an import duty of near about 5%. Okay. So if you look at the 3 major economies, Japan, US and European Union. So if they are importing, their import duty, average import duty, their average import duty is less than or equal to 5%. Their average import duty is less than or equal to 5%. If we talk about Russia or China also and South Africa also, what you will look at, it is near about or less than 7.5%. Okay. So in the case of South Africa, in case of China, in case of Russia, it is either less than or equal to 7.5% on an average. On an average, it is less than 7.5% or equal to 7.5%. Okay. If we talk about Brazil, so Brazil is having a little bit higher, near about 13 to 14%, but in the recent time, it has also come down to 11%. Okay. So again, you can see that Brazil is having, in the recent times, Brazil is having an import duty of near about 11 to 12% on an average. Okay. But if we compare about India, in India, the import duty has been higher, ranging from 16-17%. Okay. So in India, if we talk about this, India has an average import duty of near about 17%. Near about 17%. So among the BRICS nation also, and even as compared to other economies of the world, India has a very high import duty on the goods which we import from other countries. So we are having this high tariff on this part. Okay. You may have seen that there has been some recent controversies. Especially United States has been saying that India is one of those countries which is imposing very high tariff on the goods which are imported from there. Okay. That is one of the part. Second thing is, if we look at this, you will find there is a difference here. Why we are having this much high rate? We could have been in comparison to this Brazil. We could be somewhere near Brazil. If we look at the non-agricultural products, if we look at the non-agricultural tariff, this non-agricultural tariff is somewhat equal to this 13% or 13.5%. Okay. So it is equal to 13.5% on an average. Okay. But if we look at the agricultural tariff, it is somewhat near 40%. Okay. So agri tariff, if we look at the agri products, agri import tariff, so that is equal to almost 39%. Okay. So it is comparatively on the higher side. So there are two sides of this. One part is we are having a very high import duty as compared to the BRICS nation, as compared to the advanced countries. While advanced countries are having less than 5%, even in the developing countries, when we talk about Russia or China or South Africa or Brazil, we still have one of the highest import duties. Why we are having this? If we look at closely, we will see that the import duty on agricultural products is very high. It ranges up to 39 to 40%. But in the case of this non-agricultural tariff, it is on the lower side, around 12 to 13%. So that is one thing which we see here. Now one more angle, see this part. How much tariff we are having and on what type of products? Beverages and tobacco. In case of beverages and tobacco, we see that this tariff is up to 74%, 75%. In case of oil seeds, it is 60%, sugars 51%, coffee or tea 47%, okay. Cereals and preparations 37%. So you can see that in major of the food items, it is very high in this section. It is going up to 30-35%, even up to 70%. Even up to 70% we are having this tariff in India. Okay. So this is one part. Now the question is, why higher tariff? Why higher tariff in case of India? Why do we have this higher tariff? Why we are having this higher tariff in India? Anyone? Champa, see the question. The thing is that we are having this batch exclusively for the English medium. Okay, we are also having another current affair class at 6 p.m. by Jeet sir, which is conducted in Hindi medium. to protect our domestic agricultural products. Yes. Okay. Yeah, that is one of the major reasons. See, the thing is, generally, what we see that agri tariff is higher. Agri tariff is one of the highest. It is on the higher side. Why? To reduce competition. We want to reduce the competition to safeguard farmers. So see, the thing is, if we look at the agricultural part of India, if we want to look at just this agriculture section, you can see that near about 50% of the people are dependent on it. It is already one of the section of our economy which is in a crisis phase, or you can say that it is not experiencing too much of return. It has an average growth rate of less than 4%. It has a growth rate of less than 4%. What we see that 50% of the farmers are already having this, the state of indebtedness, means they have already taken loan and they are not able to return it back. Okay. So basically, to safeguard our farmers, we are having this higher import tariff on the agricultural products. Okay. We are having this higher tariff on the agricultural products. But then again, we will have to understand this one part, that it cannot go on indefinitely. Like right now, United States is saying this. A time will come when other countries of the world might also start saying the same thing. And it is also going to hurt our trade with other countries. Like suppose if we are doing trade with any other countries, the Gulf countries or Asian countries or other countries, they might also highlight the same issue, that when we are sending the agricultural products to India, you are imposing so much high tariff. Okay. So that may become one of the challenging issue for India in the upcoming times. So India needs to make its farmer much more better, much more competitive than ever. Okay. So now it is one of the very high time. It is one of the very high time that India needs to focus much more on agriculture sector. There is a need to focus on this sector. In the previous week, we have discussed about this agriculture sector also, that what are the challenges with respect to that sector. We have even seen that in the budget, what measures have been taken for the agriculture sector. The National Mission for Cotton, the Textile Mission, the Makhana Board, they have also been launched. But the thing is, we will have to look exclusively on this sector. Otherwise, even our foreign trade may get hit in the upcoming times. So this is one of the facts which you have to see with respect to the Indian agriculture sector. Okay. This is also the reason, this is also, yes, of course, India has been withdrawing from many of the international many of the international platforms because of the agriculture related trade or agriculture related tariff. Okay. It is also one of the main contentious issue at WTO also, World Trade Organization also. Okay. So this is one part. College में BA का marksheet नहीं है क्या form भरा जाएगा? Yes, you can fill the form. I think the date of form is already over. It was 18th, right? Or has it been further changed? I think the last date was up to 18th. Now, so this is our first topic. Coming to the second one. Second one is basically rarest of rare doctrine. Second one is rarest of the rare doctrine. This is one of the doctrine which is used for giving capital punishment. Capital punishment means death punishment. Okay. So let us try to understand what is the rarest of the rare. Rarest of rare. Achha, 21. Okay, 3 days more extension. So see, if we look at this, it is with respect to capital punishment or death punishment. Capital punishment or the death sentence. This is the one doctrine. This is one doctrine which is used with respect to this capital punishment or death sentence. Okay. Now, what is this doctrine? Let us try to understand this. Let us try to see how this has evolved. Like what led to evolution of this rarest of the rare doctrine? Which cases are involved here? Let us try to understand this. Okay. The first case which was there with respect to this is Jagmohan Singh versus state of UP. So there was this one case, Jagmohan Singh versus state of UP, state of Uttar Pradesh. So this was one of the case. Okay. This was one of the case where it was said that like the petitioner, he said that death sentence should not be awarded, that anyone should not be given death sentence. Anyone should not be given this death sentence. That was the argument of the petitioner. He was saying that why he said this, what was the claim, what was the argument, what were the arguments. Let us try to understand this. The first argument was there that this violates the fundamental rights. The first one was there that it violates the fundamental rights. Okay. Violation of fundamental right. Violation of fundamental right. That was the first argument. That when you are giving this death sentence, so it is violating the fundamental rights like Article 19, freedom of expression, or Article 19 and Article 21. Okay. So it was said that this is violation of Article 19, Article 21. Second thing which was said that there is no clear guideline, that the judges are having no such clear guideline that in what case they should give death sentence and in what case they should not be giving the death sentence. Okay. So there is no clear guidelines for the judges. No clear guidelines for judges. So this was one of the argument, that there is no such clear guidelines for the judges that when they should be giving this death sentence. Okay. And it was said that this is unfair delegation of power. This is unfair delegation of power to the judges. That judges have not been told that in what situation you can award this death sentence, you can give this death sentence. So this is unlawful delegation of power. It was said that this is unlawful delegation of power. So this was unfair, or you can say unfair also. It is unfair delegation of power, not unlawful. Let us say unfair. Unfair delegation of power. Then the next part which was said here, that it is also violation of Article 14. Okay. It is also violation of Article 14. Why Article 14? Article 14 provides for equality. Article 14 provides for equality. It says that the judges have no clear guidelines. Judges have no clear guidelines. There is no such objective criteria. There is no such objective rules for deciding the death sentence, and hence this is a violation. The judge may give one person death sentence and he can ask other person just for life imprisonment. So it is totally up to the judges now. They can either give the death sentence or they can give this life imprisonment. So there is a lack of clear rules, which is violation of Article 14. But Supreme Court said that no, this all arguments are not fair. It is not a violation of fundamental rights, and hence we are going to continue with death punishment or capital punishment. Okay. Then there was another case. which was with respect to Bachchan Singh versus the state of Punjab. Bachchan Singh versus state of Punjab. Now, this was the case where Supreme Court devised this concept of rarest of the rare. Okay. Here, there was establishment of rarest of rare. Rarest of rare. So, Supreme Court established this principle of rarest of rare in this Bachchan Singh versus the state of Punjab. Okay. That it should be used only in exceptional cases. Death punishment should be given only in exceptional cases, not as a normal condition. Okay. Now, after this, there was another case which was called as Machi Singh versus the state of Punjab. Okay. Machi Singh versus state of Punjab. So that was another case. Now here, Supreme Court has just said that in rarest of rare case, you can give the death sentence. But Supreme Court has not defined here that what will be called as rarest of rare. Supreme Court simply said that in the rarest of rare case, you can go for this death sentence. But Supreme Court did not define this part, that what will constitute this rarest of rare. So then after, in Machi Singh versus the state of Punjab, there were 5 clear guidelines. There were 5 clear guidelines for deciding the rare of the rarest. Okay. First was manner of the crime. First was manner of crime. Means how this crime has been committed, how a murder has been created, how a murder has been committed. Is it brutal? Is it brutal or not? Like, there is one thing. Sometimes, if we talk about that there is a person who has murdered someone, so there can be 2 different scenarios. In one of the scenarios, a person has killed someone normally. Okay, a person has killed someone normally. He has not brutally killed. Brutally killed means very badly. He has tortured the person and then killed it. So that will be called as a brutal murder. That will be called as a brutal murder. But sometimes people are like killing someone just in a rage, a sudden rage, and that too in one single go or in one single time, just to safeguard themselves or otherwise. Okay. So generally what happens, that how the crime has been committed. Has it been committed in a brutal manner? Okay. So that in the society there is a fear of that. Okay. So if the manner of the crime is brutal, then death sentence can be given. Okay. Second thing is the motive of the murder. Motive of murder. Like, why this murder has been committed? What is the motive? Okay. Like, has a person killed someone for some like very grave motive, for some grave motive or for some dangerous motive? So that again will be a dangerous, or that again will be called as one of the situation in which this death sentence can be awarded. Like, suppose that someone has killed someone just for saving himself, or just because he was enraged or furious or something like that. So sometimes a person go into shock also and then also kill someone. Okay. So that is different thing. But then someone may systematically plan it. Someone can systematically plan it for a particular cause. Then that will be called as a purposely or a fully curated motive for murder. Okay. Then third part is like this, the nature of the crime, like social nature of the crime. Has the crime been committed for personal purpose, or has it been committed towards any minority people? Not because of personal reason, but because of other social reasons. Okay. So again, social nature of crime. social nature of crime. Like suppose that if there is a person and he is killing someone, just because the other person is of belonging to any other caste or any other religion, and there is a hatred in that person against that religion, or he wants to establish in that society that people from other religion or other caste or other sect or other tribe will not be tolerated. So that will be again considered as one of the factor for considering the rarest of the rare doctrine. Okay. Then again, if there is the magnitude of the crime, there is another thing, magnitude of the crime. What is the magnitude? How much extensive this is? Sometimes there are serial killers. There are people who have murdered a large number of people in one single day, like bomb blast. Okay. That also, or killing someone in a large manner, like we have this case of Mumbai attack in 2008. Okay. So that was like magnitude of crime was very much higher. Okay. Then at the same time, personality of the offender. Personality of offender. Like suppose that there may be some people who have committed crime, against children or women or against helpless people or against senior citizens. There have been some serial killers, there have been some psycho killers who have been killing senior citizens or children or vulnerable section or poor people. So that also is one of the case of rarest of rare. Okay. Motive means like for why someone is committing a crime. Motive is like why someone is committing a crime. See, sometimes people also kill someone for property. Also, like they think that they will not be getting anything. So for just property, they are killing someone. Sometimes their motive can be very much dangerous also. They want to establish their supremacy. They want to establish their presence or fear in the society. So that is also something. You may have seen that there are various people who want to establish themselves as a gang leader or as a famous what you can say, any such gang leader or any such hooligan in a particular area. So for that reason, if someone is murdering someone just to show the society that this is why you should fear from me, so that is what we call as motive. Okay. So then in this case, what is rarest of rare was defined here. Okay. So these are some of the cases which has defined what is the rarest of the rare doctrine. Okay. And in India, if there is a death punishment, it has to give in rarest of the rare cases. Okay. So yes, in Kolkata case, like the starting court, the court which has first gone for investigation of it, has given only like it has given punishment. Even this has even considered it as rarest of rare case. Okay. So that is also one of the example. Has considered that it is one of the crime for which I think they have given this death sentence. In Kolkata case, they have given the death sentence or not. I have not seen that final judgment of the court. Okay. So if they have given death sentence, then they had regarded it as rarest of the rare case. This is also one of the example what constitutes rarest of the rare. In India, very few death punishments are given. Okay. Yes, I think in Kolkata case, they have given life imprisonment. But that is not the last court. I think yes, life imprisonment has been given. So that is not the last court. They can be that can be appealed in High Court also. That can go to Supreme Court also. So High Court or Supreme Court can even consider this, that whether it should be life imprisonment or it should be death punishment. So it is from the starting court. It is from the civil court there. Okay, district court there. So as it reaches to the higher level, then other punishment may also be awarded. Okay. So in high courts, they can again take this matter and their death punishment can be given. Now, coming to the third part, coming to the next topic, periodic labor force survey. Yes, I think life imprisonment has been given. So that's why it has been very much in the news also, that why the life imprisonment, because it was one of the crime of the gravest nature. It was one of the crime which shook the conscience of the nation. It was one of the worst form of crime, and we have precedents with respect to this. Like in the Nirbhaya case, the Supreme Court has clearly given that in these cases you can go for even death punishment. Okay. So, and now the recent Kolkata case is of the time when new laws are already there. When Nirbhaya case was there, at that time what we have seen, that the laws were not that much strict, but now the laws are more strict and it even easily provides for death punishment. Okay. So that is also one of the issue where the courts may take up this further as rarest crime, rare of the rarest crime. Yes. Now, coming to the next part, periodic labor force survey. So, here what we are seeing, that like who releases this and some of the observations of the past. Okay. Like periodic labor force survey, if we talk about this, okay. So let us see this part, like if we talk about this periodic labor force survey, who releases this and what is the significance of this? Let us talk about this only. Okay. Now, who will release this? Who releases? It is being released by NSSO. It is being released by NSSO, that is National Sample Survey Office. It is being released by National Sample Survey Office. See, regarding that one thing, like the crimes which are being committed in our society. Society is one of the main reason for the crimes. It is not the law which is on the weaker side. Of course, law has its own challenges. The enforcement of law is also not very much strict, and even the judiciary takes its own time. Like we have seen that in very important cases also, and there are certain cases which gets highlighted. There are a large number of cases which are not even getting highlighted, and they are also as important as any other case. But what we see, that on one hand we have the laws. If we look at the laws are quite strict. Enforcement is poor. The judicial process is quite lengthy. Now, there is another thing. Society is one of the major factors behind these crimes. Society is one of the major factors. People are not having that value education system. People are not having this value education system. There is too much of outrage in the society. People are becoming more and more violent. And some people, actually you can say that they have become mentally sick also. Many of the people who are committing these type of crimes, we cannot consider them as human beings. Like they are mentally sick. People. They have not been like nurtured by the society. The society is many a times the society considers some cases as per their choice. If it becomes a high profile case, everyone is tweeting, everyone is writing a status on WhatsApp or changing the WhatsApp status, changing the DP and everything. But then again, if we look on daily basis, even if someone is teasing someone or slapping someone or doing something near themselves also, they will not intervene there. So when you don't stop the smaller crimes, it takes the form of bigger ones. When you don't train your children, when you don't educate the society near you, it becomes the bigger curse in later course of time. Okay. So that is one thing. most of the time, now what we see that the outrage of the public is limited to WhatsApp status, changing DP on WhatsApp, or writing something on Twitter or Instagram. It is not changing, or they are not doing their part as part of the society. So the evil prevails, the evil in the society prevails because good people are just tweeting, or good people are just taking a note on or writing a note on WhatsApp or Instagram. That is one of the major challenge. Okay. This criteria clearly has a challenge that it complete depends. Yes, that's why this challenge was there, that even now we see that rarest of rare case totally depends on the judges, that what they consider as rarest of the rare and what they don't consider. That is one of the challenge with capital punishment in India. Okay. Now coming to this periodic labor force survey, who released this? National Sample Survey Office. What it tells us about? It tells us about the employment figure in India. It gives this information to us that how many people are employed, how many people are unemployed. It also gives us the data about this part, that how much people in India are employed in rural areas or urban areas. So I'm just giving you one simple part of it, one fact. These are changing facts. These facts change after time to time. But there is one yearly figure. There is one yearly figure which you can keep in your mind, or just on average part you can keep that in mind. Okay. That in 2023-24, in 2023-24, the labor force participation ratio, okay, in the rural areas, okay, has increased to 63.47. Okay. In the rural areas it is 63.7%. Okay. That is in the case of rural areas. And in urban areas, the labor force participation ratio has increased up to 52%. So remember this one very significant part. Generally what we consider that in urban areas more and more people are employed, or more and more people are there in the labor force. But if you look at this labor force participation ratio, you will find that in urban areas it is 52%. In rural areas it is 63.7%. Okay. Now, if we talk about the male, the labor force participation ratio is 78.8%. This one is 78.8%. And for the female, there has been a significant change, that it has increased up to 41.7%. Okay. So it has increased up to 41.7%. So these are the two figures which you can keep in mind. First, the participation of women in the labor force is increasing. Second thing is, in rural areas we have got 63.7% participation of people in the labor force. So this is one figure. Like, we don't have to see the monthly figure updates, but yearly you can keep in your mind. Okay. Now coming to one more topic from GS paper 2. Coming to one more topic, there is one thing, one news article. India and Qatar elevate ties to a strategic partnership. India and Qatar have increased or enhanced their ties to a strategic partnership. So I have this one question for you. What is strategic partnership? Like, this is one of the question. Many a times you are looking at this strategic partnership. Strategic partnership. So can you tell me, what is this strategic partnership? What do we mean by this? If it is written somewhere that India and any country is having a strategic partnership, so what is the meaning of that? What is a strategic partnership? How is rural more than urban? Rural people are more employed in, this is the government data. Rural people are more there working in the fields or working in other areas as compared to the urban people. Even in rural India, the participation of women in the labor force is higher. So there is this stereotype that people don't work in the rural areas. In fact, people in rural areas are more in the labor force as compared to the urban areas. Okay. So that is one such belief in our society, that people who are in their rural areas are just taking a nap on in their houses. No, they are working more. Bilateral trade, defense, anything else? Define this strategic partnership. What is a strategic partnership? Defense along with economy. Okay. See, when we talk about simple relation, bilateral relation, it is mostly related to, like when we talk about the bilateral relations at simple level, it is more related with trade and diplomacy. It is more related with trade and diplomacy. But when this is taken to a strategic partnership, so apart from this trade plus diplomacy, we see many other dimensions, that there can be cooperation in field of energy, there can be cooperation in field of defense, there can be cooperation in field of technology, plus many more. Okay. So when we are talking about the strategic partnership, it varies from state to state, but there is more and more partnership. It can be in terms of energy, defense, trade, diplomacy, technology, agriculture, etc., etc. Plus, generally, they start supporting each other on international forums. Okay. So, plus support on international issues, support on international matters. Now, this is not always the case, but generally we see that there is more support on the international matters. Okay. So that is what we call as this strategic partnership. Okay. Now, recently, if we talk about India and Qatar have decided that they are going to enhance their level of cooperation to a strategic partnership. So what are the things which are planned? Okay. So future planning, if we talk about India and Qatar, what are the future plans? What are the future plans? We are looking at a free trade agreement in the future. We are looking at this bilateral. We are looking at this bilateral free trade agreement. Free trade agreement is one of those trade agreements which reduces tariff on a number of items. Okay. On a number of items, there is reduction of tariff. In some cases, it is even zero tariff. Okay. So, India and Qatar are negotiating this bilateral free trade agreement. Okay. Plus, we also see that there is also a both of the sides, they are also signing double taxation avoidance pact. Double taxation avoidance pact. So that is also something which we are planning to do with the Qatar. Even in the case of trade and security also, we are increasing our cooperation. There is also a resolve to double the trade. A resolve to double trade to $28 billion. $28 billion. That is the resolve, that in upcoming times we are going to increase it up to twice, means our trade will also become a double in the upcoming years. Okay. So this is something which we are planning. Even we are talking about enhancing our security arrangements, or security deals may also be expected in future. Okay. So these deals are expected to be there in the future, that we are going to achieve all these things with Qatar. Now, if we talk about Qatar right now, like what is the linkage with Qatar? What is the linkage right now from when we have this establishment? What is the trade and all? Okay. So right now, if we talk about India and Qatar, first thing is trade. Oh, before the trade, establishment of relation. When this relation was established, it was there in 1973. We have this establishment of relations with Qatar in 1973. So it has been almost 52 years now. It has been almost 52 years now. Then we had this establishment of relationship with Qatar. There is a trade is of nearly $15 billion. This is the trade in 2023-24. 23-24. This is the trade. Okay. This is the last year trade figure, that for 2023-24 it was $15 billion. Okay. At the same time, it is the major supplier of LNG. Okay. Around 50% of LNG supply to India. Around 50% of LNG supply to India, that is coming from Qatar. Okay. At the same time, what we see that the largest diaspora of around 8 lakh people, okay, 8 lakh Indians, Indian diaspora, they are living in Qatar. So in this terms also, we are very high number of people here. In 2019, what we saw that there was also this cultural program, like India-Qatar cultural exchange program was organized. Okay. India-Qatar cultural exchange program. That was also there in 2019. What you will find that there are certain schools. There are certain schools in Qatar, and they are following this CBSE curriculum. They are also following this CBSE curriculum in Qatar. Why we have got 8 lakh people of India in Qatar? So they are also having this CBSE affiliated schools in Qatar as well. Okay. So that is one thing about India and Qatar relations, that what is our trade, what is our diaspora, how our energy security is related with them. There is also one issue. And that is of this one issue is basically with respect to ex-Indian Navy commander, okay, and Purnendu Tiwari. He has been there. Purnendu Tiwari, he is a ex-Navy commander of India, and he is there in Qatar jail. Okay. So that is one of the issue between India and Qatar. That was also discussed at this meeting between Indian Prime Minister and Qatar representative. Okay. So that is one thing about India and Qatar relation. Qatar was also part of this OPEC, Organization of Petroleum Exporting Countries, but it has left OPEC recently. Okay. This is one of the country for which India is establishing its ties. Okay. India has elevated the ties to a strategic relation. I hope it is clear. Any doubt in this? Amir of Qatar and Indian Prime Minister was recently having this meeting. Okay. Okay, so these were the articles for today. In tomorrow's session, we will again start from this the current affair topic at 5 p.m. and we will discuss the questions also with respect to this. Okay. Any question, any doubt? Okay, so see, For today, we have discussed this one of the very important thing, rarest of the rare doctrine. Even we have seen a very important component of economy, that is with respect to import tariff in India, and then this India-Qatar relationship also. Okay. So thank you everyone. Let's meet tomorrow at 5 p.m. to discuss other current affairs. Thank you and take care. Thank you.